guys, this is gonna be terrible. I'm so jumbled about this case. There's so many different timelines and shit. I don't even know who I forgot who the fuck died.
Drew Bishop died.
Right. Who killed him?
Who killed him?
Yeah.
You sure know that. It's very obvious.
Oh yeah, it was freaking Grammary. Right? What was his name?
Valen Grammary?
Yeah. Right?
No.
What's his name?
Valen Grammary didn't kill anybody. And you're thinking about the Magnifi case.
See, that's where I'm fucking confused.
But that case is 7 years ago. That's
his daughter killed him.
That's when Phoenix lost the case. All right, yeah.
See, that's where I'm confused, man. I don't know what the fuck's happening.
Right? That
So we're defending Vera.
Yeah, that case is completely
So it's
solved.
not her.
So the case 7 years ago is completely solved. Valen didn't kill anybody.
Right.
Magnifi Grammary killed himself, and Valen just messed with the crime scene to make it seem like Zach killed him.
Right.
Because he wanted the rights.
And then what? Okay, right.
Right.
Magnifi, yeah, we shot him, and it was like he actually committed suicide. Right.
All
Okay. Right.
Essentially.
And then Drew Mission was like forging some shit.
Yeah, but it wasn't Drew Mission that was forging. He was basically.
It was his daughter.
It was his daughter that's forging stuff.
Yeah.
Drew Mission himself is like the front man, the PR guy, right? Well, Vera is actually the forger, and Vera forged the letter that Phoenix presented in the case that made him lose his
attorney badge, of course.
Okay, and then you remember yesterday when we were talking to Zach Grammary.
Yep. And what timeline? In the one at the poker?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so you remember what he told us?
He said that he told us that Apollo and Trucy are brother and sister.
Yeah, but Phoenix made that connection, but Zach Grammary has no idea who Apollo is.
Right.
Because Apollo was.
And we don't know who their mom is, or we do.
Yeah, we do.
That one.
It's Thalassa.
Thalassa Huntington or something, right?
Grammary.
Thalassa Grammary.
You know their last name.
The last name. Yeah.
Yeah, and essentially she got shot, and she is now missing. We don't know where she is.
Right, she was shot, missing, but she was like declared dead. Oh, and then there's like, in 10 days, the magic rights are going to be like turned over to Trucy.
Yes, so the magic rights are going to go to Trucy.
And Valant doesn't want that.
Well,
who the fuck killed Drew Misham then? His daughter? But we're defending his daughter, so it's not him. Not her.
It's very obvious who killed Drew Bishop.
Very obvious. How did he die again? Strangled?
No, he died from poisoning.
Poison. Oh, poison from the stamp.
Yes.
Who sent the stamp? Valant.
No, Valant has nothing to do with this case.
Who? I'm forgetting a character then. Who sent the stamp? Zach.
The Grammarys have nothing to do with this case.
Nothing to do with it. Who sent the fucking letter then? Who sent the stamp? Oh, whoever was set up Phoenix.
Who did set up Phoenix?
What's his face?
That clears it up.
But he's already in jail.
You think Christoph Gavin?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Christoph Gavin did set him up. And it was very obvious.
So Christoph Gavin did this from jail?
How?
Because there was poison on the stamp years later that he took it out and then suddenly he died. So it was a delayed murder?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's all together now.
All right. And do you remember what happened in the trial?
Which one?
The first trial.
The initial one where Phoenix lost his...
No.
Oh.
This trial. Like, we had one trial.
What happened?
Yeah, what happened at the end of it?
At the end, they called like a recess because...
Why?
Because what was it? Because shit, what was it? It all blurs together.
Something very bad happened.
Something terrible.
Yeah.
Happened. Oh my god! Vera got shot.
She didn't get shot. She got poisoned.
She fucking got killed, dude.
Yeah,
holy
she collapsed.
shit.
Yeah, she got poisoned.
That's right. All right, we good. We locked and loaded. Now it all makes sense.
you are forgetting one very important detail. The final scene that we saw in our last session, the final scene. What was the final scene?
I thought it was us figuring out Trucy and Apollo were brother and sis.
No, it's after that.
Then we go visit Kristoff in jail.
Yeah, and what did we find?
We find the nail polish.
That, yes. But we also find
a picture.
No,
we find a letter.
a letter. What was the letter?
It was the contract for the 10 days running out thing. The 10 days and the rights were going to be handed over.
Yes. So essentially, Spark Bushel testified that he saw Drew Bisham writing on a yellow envelope.
Right.
And he hid it.
But then it was a red envelope.
No.
Oh.
The red envelope is the one from 7 years ago.
Yeah.
That has the here's $100,000. Drew Bishop, good job, good job. The yellow envelope was you'll find out, but the yellow envelope was sent to Kristoff. All right. But when we tried to take the envelope away, Kristoff showed up. He's like, "Hey, the fuck you doing?" And he took it away.
Yep. All right. Locked and loaded, ready to go.
All right.
We're gonna do this in 40 minutes.
I don't think so.
Oh, you watch.
I can't read that fast.
I can. And he has a camera in his head.
Yeah.
Welcome to court. 7 years, all leading to one verdict. A verdict which you must decide. Is the defendant, Vera Misham, innocent or guilty? The courtroom doors are opening. The trial awaits. Are you ready to begin? We recording, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Something inside me. Rising. Surfacing. Something important. Lost long ago. It's close now. So close. I have the camera on. There.
Court is now in session for the trial of Vera Misham.
The defense is ready, Your Honor. Prosecution's ready to rock.
Prosecutor Gavin, how is the defendant? Vera Misham's condition?
Acute of the strychnine poisoning. According to a physician, she could die at any time. Thus, her absence from the courtroom today.
What? I can't put her on trial without her being here.
It is unusual.
They should wait for her to get better and do it then. It's so bureaucratic of them.
That's been a little harsh. I can't delay the trial any longer. But they risk having no one left to try. A trial without the verdict can only cause grief. The records of this case and experience tell us this. Apologies to the defendant, but the show must go on. Right. If Vera dies, the trial will be cancelled. I'm not going to let that happen. Mr. Wright told me everything that's been going on behind the curtain all these years. I'm going to get Vera her innocent verdict while there's still time.
Very well. Your opening statement, Prosecutor Gavin.
The prosecution's case is unchanged by recent events. Why did Vera Misham succumb to poison? Because she couldn't live with the guilt of what she'd done. Objection! But Vera was poisoned with a strychnine! The exact same poison that took her father's life! What better confession could you ask for? Being the killer, she would have access to the poison. Significant, since it's rather hard to come by.
That's true.
In other words, I see no need for further discussion. We could have had our verdict yesterday.
Well, Mr. Justice, if you have no objections, I see no reason to postpone a verdict.
What we need to worry about isn't the verdict, but the trial itself. The defense holds that Vera Misham is the victim, not the killer. If that's so, then you have to prove something. She was in court, giving her testimony before us.
She was biting her nails, which were poisoned.
How do you propose the killer poisoned her?
Skip ahead to that. I know I figured it out.
Okay. I would like to do my lines first. Oh, and incidentally, it would be nice if you told us who her mystery killer was.
The prosecution's objection is sustained. I ask the defense to prove its claims to this court. Tell us how Vera Misham was poisoned.
I've got two things to prove here. Who did it and how? Which to hit first?
How?
How did the killer poison Vera Misham? I will focus first on the method used.
Any comments before we begin, Prosecutor Gavin?
The bottle or container of the poison was found in the defendant's body. On the defendant's body. I didn't check there.
I see. So, the vector of poisoning is unknown. Is the defense prepared to prove how the poison reached Vera Misham?
Yes, Your Honor.
Very well. What method was used?
Finish your line.
No, it's for dramatic pause.
Oh, okay.
To poison Vera Misham.
There you go.
What's this? My, what a beautiful bottle. I'd like to give whoever designed that a hand.
Good one, Judge. Is that nail polish? It's colorless. Ah, something the matter? No, nothing. Nothing at all.
So, the killer put poison in this bottle and made her drink it?
As Prosecutor Gavin has told us, this is nail polish.
Nail polish?
It's like paint for nails. Know any women with red nails?
Well, there's a little cutie in the back there who's, he paints his nails. Ah! My wife has red nails. I see, so she's been painting them all this time.
She asked me more! Let's recall yesterday's trial. Remember when Vera was testifying to the court?
Court is now back in session.
Vera seems pretty tense. She's practically chewing her fingernails clean off. Whenever Vera became nervous, she had a habit of biting her nails.
Her nails?
Ah! Prosecutor Gavin, when the prosecution had Vera examined, did they check her nails?
Bailiff, have them check the defendant's nails at once! Mr. Justice?
Yes?
Do you know who did this? Do you know who put poison in that nail polish?
Yes. That bottle belongs to Vera Misham. Why do you ask? Know someone else who might have a bottle like this? No, just checking.
Mr. Justice, you are about to accuse someone of poisoning that bottle of nail polish. Please dispense with the chatter. You realize the weight of this accusation? Here, let me show you.
Understood, Your Honor. No problem. I know what I'm doing this time.
Then let us ask, who poisoned Vera Misham via her nail polish? Christoph Gavin! What's this? Christoph Gavin?
What's your game? My bro. There's no way he could do a thing like that. You should know that better than anyone else.
Indeed. He is behind bars.
I know. However, that doesn't mean it was impossible to do what he did. What? Ask yourselves when he put the poison in the bottle. It could have been yesterday. Could have been a month ago. Maybe it was a year ago. Or perhaps it was 7 years ago.
But, Christoph Gavin had no motive for killing this poor girl. It's simply inconceivable.
Prosecutor Gavin doesn't seem to think so. That face tells me one thing. Christoph Gavin's own younger brother doesn't find it inconceivable at all.
Well, Prosecutor Gavin, if you feel there is a clear and pressing need Then we may have to summon Christoph Gavin from jail as a special witness.
Fine. I've known for some time that an impenetrable darkness lurked at the bottom of this. A darkness that has swallowed even myself. Okay! The defense's wish is granted. Let Prisoner Christoph Gavin take the stand!
Bailiff, begin proceedings to call a special witness. The witness is Christoph Gavin, currently residing in solitary cell 13 at Central Prison.
Your Honor. How nice to see you again.
It's been quite a while, hasn't it?
To what do I owe the pleasure of your company? It's not every day I'm summoned from my solitary cell. In fact, it's never. I think you already know, Mr. Christoph Gavin. Ah, Mr. Justice. I hear you've been doing quite well for yourself. Why do I feel like somehow he's still my boss?
Stiff upper lip, Apollo. You can do it.
Does this bottle look familiar? Arena Donate nail polish. Why, yes. I use it myself. As did the late defendant, I hear. She's not dead yet! And, was there something concerning this bottle you wish to ask me about? I admit, I respect her for her taste in nail polish. Her taste indeed. This nail polish was how Vera Mission was poisoned! A troconine, was it?
You're well informed about the case, Mr. Gavin.
Even in solitary, much comes to my desk, and I have nothing to do but read. Well, Clavier, maybe you can explain this? You're being accused again. By him. Again. Ah. And you agree with his accusation, do you?
Let's hold a proper trial, shall we? Christoph Gavin, your testimony, please!
I'd be delighted.
The charges against you are quite severe, Mr. Gavin. You are suspected of the poisoning of the defendant Vera Misham. Please testify on this matter to the court!
Owning the same nail polish does not a murderer make. I have been in solitary confinement for half a year. How could I poison her? Her father died of the same poison, the meaning of which should be clear. The prosecution's case holds. She poisoned her father, then attempted to poison herself. Surely you aren't going to suggest I was responsible for poisoning her father, too.
Well, I'm afraid the defense's claim is sounding rather unlikely.
Naturally. For one, I don't even know the Mishams. Isn't that so, Mr. Justice?
Very well, Mr. Justice. Begin your cross-examination.
I'm accusing Christoph Gavin, my ex-boss. But I know he poisoned the Mishams. The question is, when could he have done it? Not to mention, why? Owning the same nail polish is not a murder, admit. Tell me, is this nail polish expensive? Arena Doni is a nail polish of the highest order. Not only is it fabulously expensive, but it is made in extremely limited quantities. And you and Vera just happen to both use it? That can't be a coincidence! I'm guessing it's not a coincidence. Huh? It's simple. Arena Doni is the best nail polish one could buy, correct? Then, if one wanted the best nail polish, one would buy it.
That makes sense. Why, it's a bit like my feelings toward my brand new gavel here.
Brand name gavel. It's Adidas. It's a brand new.
My brand name gavel here.
And my silk top hat.
Are we all done showing off our refined tastes?
Please continue with your tasteful testimony.
I have been in solitary confinement for half a year. How could I poison her? Can't you still make contact with the outside world in solitary? So you had the accomplice on the outside. Is this your latest accusation? I am allowed a certain modicum of letter writing. But the contents of those letters are closely checked. It would be extremely difficult to send a hit request.
Prosecutor Gavin's on the warpath, isn't he?
Yeah, you think so too, Tracy?
I bet I know why. He must be nervous with Big Brother watching.
Maybe that's a weakness I could turn to my advantage. We'll be cool with that. May I continue? Her father died of the same poison, the meaning of which should be clear. The defendant is not dead yet! There are no known cases of someone surviving the strychnine poisoning. You seem to know a lot about strychnine. I know a lot about a lot of things. This is why I suggest we pick up the pace. Or else, there'll be short one defendant, for what she's worth.
The witness will refrain from speaking ill of the... ill!
My apologies. Shall we continue? Shall I continue? The prosecutor's case holds. She poisoned her father, then attempted to poison herself. Bear had no reason to want to commit suicide. And also, who would commit suicide by doing their nails? The answer is quite simple. Basically, allow me to explain. Beginning with, why did she do it? The answer is quite simple. She couldn't live with her own guilt. Next, why did she use nail polish to poison herself? This too is simple. So she could die doing something that she liked. Something that she liked? Once she saw that the trial wasn't going her way, she knew she would die. And it's not easy to bring poison into a courtroom. Must I explain further?
I believe that's clear enough. Crystal clear.
Wow, the two brothers together is like a two-man wrecking team.
I could use a little more teamwork, though. Surely you aren't going to suggest I was responsible for poisoning her father, too. Both Vera and Mr. Bisham were poisoned with the strychnine. That really can't be a coincidence. The defense is repeating fallacious statements based on a conjecture. The prosecution's request concrete, unambiguous proof of the witness's crime.
Objection sustained. The defense will please present concrete proof.
Does Prosecutor Gavin seem strange to you too? It's like he's all grown up.
I think that's how prosecutors are supposed to be, actually. Though he is acting different than usual. I'll bet it has a lot to do with his brother Christoph being in the room.
Well, let's make this testimony count, Apollo.
Right. Quick and painless. My bracelet should do the trick. Okay, I'm questioning my ex-boss. His testimony seems watertight, but he's lying. I'm sure I'll be able to see something, as long as I focus. Okay, so what am I proceeding? What statement am I proceeding?
Oh.
Okay.
Pass.
Okay. I've been in solitary. Okay. The father died of the same poison, the meaning of which should be clear.
Pass.
The prosecution case holds she poisoned her father, then attempted to poison herself.
Could be that one.
Surely you aren't going to suggest I was responsible for poisoning her father too.
That one.
Fuck! That's the wrong button! Ah! God damn. Do you remember when Vera was talking to Phoenix about when Kristoff visited her? And she said that she couldn't say his name, but he looked like this thing?
He looked like a devil.
Okay. She did say that. Just keep that in mind.
What the hell? Where'd that come from? Whoa. What the fuck? Well, go to the spot where a whole fucking face shows up. It's like he has a special ability. He can notice when a whole fucking skull appears, a jack-o'-lantern appears on his hand. There.
Ooh.
Gotcha!
It was you who killed Drew Misham. A bluff worthy of your new mentor, Mr. Wright. Oh, really? But you see, I saw it. Right when you said her father, too. Your hand tensed unnaturally, and a little devil appeared to give me the news. And let's assume, for the sake of argument, that you saw me for being tense. What does that mean? Are all tense witnesses guilty? And tell me, was Drew Misham fond of nail polish too? Sorry, but there's more than one way to poison a man. You don't need nail polish to get to someone's mouth. Ah. Then I must be very talented indeed. You see, Drew Misham was killed on October 6th, while I was already in my solitary confinement cell at Central Prison. If that's not an alibi, then I don't know what is. But you found a way, all the same, and I found it too. This is how you poisoned Mr. Misham!
Stamp!
I'm sure this commemorative stamp requires no introduction. The night that Mr. Misham died, he was seen writing a letter. A trucker name was found on this stamp, Mr. Gavin. So am I to understand this stamp was the murder weapon? Yes, you are. Oh, and yes, this stamp was found in your prison cell! That is all, Your Honor.
Order! Stamp!
After Drew Misham was killed, someone paid a visit to this witness's cell. Phoenix Wright.
Daddy?
That's when he found the stamp. You made Drew Misham write you a letter. That's how you killed him! What? My. You've upset my poor brother to the point of uselessness. Allow me to clarify this matter, Justice. All you need to do is recall witness Spark Brushel's testimony.
That's the thing, see? After he put his letter in that envelope, Mr. Misham sat there searching his desk drawer for something,
His desk drawer?
Yes, a stamp, a so-called postage stamp, end quote.
He was looking for a stamp. Ergo, he had no intention of using this stamp. What are you getting at? What I'm arriving at is that this commemorative stamp was in the frame. It was mere coincidence that he used it that night.
That would seem to be the case.
Or perhaps you mean to suggest that I can somehow manipulate coincidence?
He does have a point. How would this witness know if the victim was going to use that stamp? Without that, he couldn't have planned the murder.
What? Really, Clavier, you should be seeing through these weak-spined bluffs by now. He's right, though. How could anyone have known Mr. Misham would use that stamp that night? Least of all, Christoph Gavin locked away in his cell.
Well, it seems that the defense has run out of things to say.
You assume he had something to say in the first place. I believe the defense's bluff has been called. The defense's bluff. I'm not sure I agree with you there, Christoph. Clavier. Honestly, I wanted to believe you. But the defense wasn't trying to get away with the bluff. You were, Christoph!
What are you saying? Prosecutor Gavin!
Fred, what was your accusation again? Oh, it was that this poison stamp killed Drew Misham, yeah? To which my brother responded thusly. There was no way to know when Misham would use the stamp.
Yes, that's right, which is why it couldn't have been planned.
Tell me, it needs to be planned? Why? Why couldn't it have been a coincidence? The defense's case is simply that Drew Misham died by that stamp. That's all. Coincidence. Gustav, He tried to slip out from under his accusation by changing the subject. If that's not bluffing, what is it? What are you up to, Clavier? I could ask you the same question, Christoph. I silenced the defense with the fewest words possible. It's called efficiency.
But, Mr. Gavin, that's impermissible testimony.
Very well. I shall take out his claim head on then. Justice. What? You accuse me of Drew Misham's murder, yes? Then, allow me to ask you, what possible reason could I have to kill a painter?
Apollo, motive. He's talking about a motive.
Indeed. Hard to see how an attorney could come to want to kill a painter.
Now here's something. Why didn't he bring up the motive from the very beginning? Unless he was afraid it was a battle he might lose.
So, what does it mean?
It means there might be a weak spot. Maybe I have some evidence to prove a motive.
A motive for murder? This is a vital, if not the most vital element in this case. Please consider this when making your statement.
I say it's about this vital. That's pretty vital.
Well, Mr. Justice,
I'm going through with this, no matter what. Understood, Your Honor. I'd like to present evidence.
then let's see what you have for us. What reason did Christoph Gavin have for wanting to murder Drew Misham?
What?
All right. Well, did we cover this in the pre-show? I don't think we did we?
No, but
Okay.
I think it's a pretty common motivation to kill somebody.
He wanted to kill him because piece of evidence. Just go through the evidence. Don't go through it, but just go through and no. Wait, go back to that. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
No. No. Okay. No. Forged to look like no. That doesn't involve that. No. Click on that. Let's take a look at that boy right there.
This is the
Oh, this is all this was?
yeah. This is the stamp. It's one of the grand reasons. Why did Mr. Wright give me this letter right before the trial? What could it mean?
Oh, because it had the stamp on it, and we know that Clavier had that letter, correct? We took
Yes.
that Phoenix took that directly from him.
Yeah, but is this a motivation?
What would his motivate? Why would Gavin be motivated to kill Drew Misham?
Yeah.
Why him specifically? Because something was forged? Something was forged?
What was forged?
Well, okay, in this case, so it's not the letter.
No.
It would be the
What did Drew Misham forge? Or rather, Very Misham.
Verimisham forged well, that not the grammar you note. No, the grammar you note was forged.
Yes, by her. Okay.
By
yeah.
her. But there was something else that was forged too,
No.
right? That was it?
Yes. That's the
And
only
that
thing that's been
grammar you
forged.
note was about that was the one concerning the rights being handed over, correct?
No. Well, yes, it is.
That was the content of the letter?
The letter was saying, but that was forged.
Yes.
It was forged to look because they said that that's not what it said.
Mm-hmm.
Our client just
Oh,
told us.
Drew Misham was gonna talk, right? Isn't that why? He was gonna talk, he was gonna tell.
Okay.
So that's why Christoph did it. Because he was just gonna tell. That's it.
Close enough. Christoph Gavin's motive becomes clear when we consider why the stamp came to Drew Misham's studio in the first place.
And why was that?
Forgery, Your Honor. Go back 7 years. Drew Misham attempts his first job creating forged evidence.
I've Seen that before. Page from a diary, wasn't it? Magnifique Grammarie's diary.
When Attorney Phoenix Wright lost his badge, yes. This was the evidence he presented to his loss. This evidence is a fake, yes. But did Mr. Wright request the forgery to be made? That was never proven! The defense attorney on that case was Phoenix Wright, who, other than him, drunk with the prospect of victory, could have done it. And why would they? Just out of curiosity, do you remember this letter? This is the first page. And this is the second.
Those were presented in court yesterday. This letter was sent to Drew Misham by the client who requested that forgery.
The enclosed stamp was none other than the poison commemorative stamp. Drew Misham drew his last breath just the other day. However, the motive for his murder was already 7 years old! 7 years old. The client who requested this forgery was very cautious. He tried to erase anything and anyone with connections to the forgery.
To keep them from talking.
But he made a mistake.
The stamp was a picture of my favorite magicians, so I kept it. Father took me when I was very young. It was a great magic show. I loved it so much.
The killer's time bomb was delayed. The poison stamp was sealed within a glass frame, where it sat for 7 whole years. Fred, do you understand what you're telling us? The one who schemed up the forged diary page was the one who poisoned the stamp, and it was Phoenix Wright who presented the forged evidence 7 years ago. Adding the two statements together, the one who schemed to kill Drew Bisham was none other than Phoenix Wright! Objection! Sorry, but that's not how this is going to go down. Oh? But now will it go down? I checked through the records on my case when I found this. 7 years ago, just before the trial began.
Oh boy! Here.
What's this?
I don't know. I just got it over there in the hall. He told me to give it to the old boy in the blue suit with that spiky hair.
And one more thing. I'm sorry to have sprung this on you so suddenly.
I've received the files from your previous attorney only yesterday.
I understand I am asking the impossible of you.
Yeah, well, you haven't really told me what happened yet. All we did was play cards.
And that was enough. Phoenix Wright was put on the case the day before the trial started. He didn't have time to request a forgery. The day before. And here's a question. Now here's a question. Just who was Shady Enigma's previous defense attorney? No, this can't all be. But it is all true. There was another man, a defense attorney with a badge on his collar. It was you, Christoph Gavin!
Order, order, order! What is the meaning of this? Witness, I mean defendant, a former lawyer!
Let me begin by denying this. Objection! It's easy enough to look up, Mr. Gavin. And impossible to prove if you can't. Attorneys are registered with the court the day before the trial begins. In other words, no record remains in the court. How exactly did you intend to prove Phoenix Wright's claim?
That would be difficult. I'm afraid this line of inquiry won't yield.
Fred, are you sure you don't have evidence?
What's wrong with Prosecutor Gavin? He looks clammy!
Evidence! Evidence that shows this man, Christoph Gavin, requested that forgery 7 years ago. Clavier. Just prove it! Clear up these doubts now, But I swear, I'm off this case!
You must have thought of some evidence. Apollo!
Prosecutor Gavin looks like he's in physical pain. That darkness. I have to pull that darkness out of him. And proof is the only way I can. What proves Christoph Gavin's link to Drew Misham?
Well, Mr. Justice, you claim Christoph Gavin requested a forgery of Drew Misham 7 years ago. Prove it!
It can be proven. This is simply ridiculous. Why even discuss it? This evidence does not... Are you telling the truth, Apollo Justice? I am. Then I say we give him the benefit of the doubt.
Very well. But if you're wrong about this, prepared for a penalty.
Your Honor, you did the defense of the injustice. Mr. Justice is clearly passionate about his claim. Should the penalty not match his passion?
I haven't given a penalty like that in a long time. Well, Mr. Justice?
Fine, Your Honor. All I have to prove is any kind of link. Something that ties Christoph Gavin to Drew Misham. And I have something that clearly does the job.
Very well, Mr. Justice. Present your evidence. Show us a link between our witness and Drew Misham.
Well, a link other than the fact that they sent a letter to each other?
Take that!
Oh, okay. Alright, like...
What are you thinking? This evidence proves there's a link! That scrap of paper. I'm afraid I can't let you submit that. Is there some problem? There is. How could you possibly have that? You couldn't. Hmm?
Hey, that's Daddy's handwriting.
Order, Mr. Wright's handwriting. What is the meaning of this?
Huh. I see now. Yes, of course.
What do you mean, of course?
I just remembered I had a visitor yesterday. Phoenix Wright came to my cell, except I wasn't there. Phoenix Wright. When I returned, I saw he had something of mine in his possession. Of course, I had no intention of letting him get away with reading my private mail.
Mail? You mean this letter was in your cell?
No. However, it appears Mr. Wright has yet to be cured of his bad forging habit.
Well, if it's a forgery, it's not a very good one. The handwriting's terrible!
This is Mr. Wright's reproduction of what was written in the real letter.
Reproduction?
When Mr. Wright visited Christoph Gavin's cell, he brought with him a small video camera. What? He recorded his entire conversation with you, Mr. Gavin, and the contents of your personal mail! Regardless, this mockery of a piece of evidence will never be accepted by the court. Evidence based on a video a man with no authority whatsoever claims he took. A man who happens to be an ex-attorney accused of forgery.
Prosecutor Gavin?
Prosecutor Gavin? As embarrassing as this is for me to say, I'm afraid my brother is incapable of making rational judgments at the moment. Your Honor, your decision, please.
The defense's claim is denied. What? Only actual evidence is permitted in the court of law. Please remove the defense's evidence from the court. From the record.
Better luck next time, Justice.
Well, we've certainly taken a detour from our cross-examination, but the defense appears to be lacking proof. I'm forced in the cross-examination of Christoph Gavin at this point.
Apollo, do something!
I'm thinking, but without evidence, I don't have anything I can use on him.
Very well, this ends the special witness's cross-examination.
This show's over, but the crowd screams for more. Only now do I understand why.
Prosecutor Gavin?
Frankly, I'm relieved. This has been bothering me for 7 whole years, and I'm tired of the whole youthful angst scene. Now's our chance. Let's clean out the family closet, eh, Christoph? Javier, you're spinning out of control. Calm yourself before you say something you'll regret. Spinning out of whose control? Mine? Or yours? Take a moment to consider everything you've built. Your reputation as a prosecutor. Your fame with the masses. You could lose it all, Clavier.
Apollo, did you see that? He's trying to press Prosecutor Gavin.
Prosecutor Gavin, try to remember. What's really important to you? You amuse me, Fred. I couldn't forget what's really important to me even if I tried. In fact, I haven't. Not even once. 7 years ago. Finally. You just couldn't resist, could you? You're right.
Resist what? Presenting solid evidence?
Might I request we put the current cross-examination on hold? Prosecution would like to call a new witness. State your name and occupation for the record. I'm familiar with the trial. I've watched the video several times. Did you find anything unnatural about it?
Unnatural?
Well, he did seem unusually well prepared. I mean, Mr. Wright had only just presented his evidence. And the next moment you call in Drew Misham. It was almost as if... What? Funny. Didn't even occur to me to wonder. But now that I do, I see there's only one possible explanation. Almost as if, from the very beginning, you knew that Mr. Wright was going to present that evidence. Correct. I knew that if I applied the usual pressure, Phoenix Wright would eventually come up with a forged diary page. Don't do this, Clavier. I knew because you told me, Christoph! What? What?! It was the night before the trial. Clavier. Christoph? I'd seen you at the prosecutor's office the day before the trial. I won't be appearing in the trial, actually. Huh? Why not? I won't be facing off with you on your first trial, apparently. But in exchange, I brought information. Information? The attorney who'll be there in my place tomorrow is not to be trusted. Don't even give him the benefit of your respect. Listen, I want you to call in a special witness. Then... I wondered about it at the time. How did Christoph know so much? Prosecutor Gavin. Christoph! We were supposed to face each other in that trial! A fair fight! Brother to brother! I deserve that much! You let me borrow the victim's belongings! You showed me all your research on the case!
The victim's belongings?
Which would have included Magnifi's diary, wouldn't it?
Mr. Gavin?
My Clavier. You disappoint me. You find trees, yet miss the forest. You're the one missing the forest, Mr. Gavin. You can't sweep this under the rug. Not anymore. Tell me what was going on behind that trial. Why not? I've achieved what I came here to do. I see no harm in a little reminiscing.
Apollo.
I think we're finally going to shine a light on the black belly of this thing, Trissy. We've done everything we could. I hope it's enough. 7 years ago, the day before the trial, I visited the detention center at the request of my client, Zach Gramery. 2 cards. 1 card. Showdown time. Enough! You lose, Kevin. Thanks for the work. Now go. To be honest, I don't know what his reasons were to this day. As far as I could tell, he dismissed me as his representation because I lost a game of poker. I can come to no other conclusion.
Daddy used to say something. If you want to know a man, you have to compete.
Dad wasn't watching his points or the cards. He was watching the man behind the cards, Christoph Gavin. I couldn't believe it. Phoenix Wright. A second-rate attorney who relies on luck and bluffs. He dismissed me and went with that pitiful excuse for a man. He deserved to die for that error alone. Hold it! So the one who requested that forgery was... Well, I'm not admitting to anything. My point is, these 2 men shamed me, and I could not forgive that. Phoenix Wright and Zach Gramery both deserved what they got. So you asked Mr. Mission to forge that evidence, so you could win. But then, when you were dismissed as Zach Gramery's attorney, you used your forged evidence as a trap. You fed me information about the forgery you made. Then you gave your dirty evidence to him. You're free to imagine what you will. My point is that all I had imagined came to pass. Everything went perfectly. Incredible. I wasn't laughing. I'd weep.
Prosecutor Gavin?
Perfectly. You're mad, Christoph. Stop fooling yourself. What are you talking about, Clavier? Tell me, how did that trial end?
Cancelled. When the defendant vanished.
Ah, I get it. So, Christoph, you've been living in fear for 7 years. What? You were afraid your forgery will be revealed and your reputation trashed. You couldn't leave things to chance. So you watched everyone involved with the case for 7 years.
You know, he always felt like he was being watched, That's what he said every day for 7 years. But I felt it too. Journalists, sure, he is being watched, in quote, Don't you wonder why Zach Gramery got rubbed out after 7 years, Right after coming into contact with me,
Wait just a minute. Zach Gramery was seen by this reporter. How is that possible? Was he alive after being gone 7 years?
Finally, I knew this moment was coming. I just didn't think we'd get here so fast. Zach Gramery, gone missing for 7 years. Juicy's father.
What's wrong, Apollo? Go get him!
Right, leave it to me. Allow me to refresh the court's memory. 6 months ago, Christoph Gavin was charged with murdering a mysterious traveler.
I remember him quite well. Shady Smith, was it? Poisoned in a Chinese restaurant. Tragic.
The details don't really matter right now. What matters is that traveler was Zach Gramery!
What is it, Apollo?
Huh?
Keep going. We'll talk about it later.
Did she already know?
Someone please explain this. Mr. Justice, can you explain this?
It all I can't explain it, actually. It all started 7 years ago. The great magician Magnific Gramery's death started it. Magnific Gramery's death, and his student Zach Gramery the suspect. Whoever defended Zach in court successfully would be famous beyond belief. Thinking that, Christoph Gavin did the unthinkable. He forged evidence.
Through Misham?
Actually, it was his daughter Vera who really did the work. You took precautions when you had that forgery made, didn't you, Mr. Gavin?
Precautions?
To keep people from talking, of course. These two know too much. Leave them alive and there'll be nothing but trouble. That's when you planned your poisoning of the forgers. The strychnine applied to a commemorative stamp. But luck was on Mr. Misham's side. The bomb didn't go off.
His daughter! She saved him by taking the stamp, I see.
But that wasn't the only bomb he set up. The Anthony nail polish, of course. You noticed something when you requested that forgery. When Vera Misham is nervous, she has the bad habit, a tendency to bite her nails.
Ah,
That nail polish was her good luck charm. She was almost kidnapped once. Since then, she's been, well, you can see for yourself. She refuses to leave the house.
A person gave me a good luck charm for when I absolutely had to go outside. It protects me.
Yes, apparently she received something. A gift. She won't tell me what it was. It was from that client, one who wanted a note made. It was his insurance.
insurance?
As long as she lived quietly at home, there was no danger to her. But what if she had to go outside? If she ran into any trouble, she'd become nervous. And the nail polish would do the rest. His time bomb sat there for 7 years. And then, they went off almost simultaneously. If you're finished, may I return to my cell now? I'm not accustomed to standing for such long periods of time. Mr. Gavin! Have you heard a single thing we've said? Oh, I listened quite closely to your little tale. Quite an entertaining piece of fiction. What? Clavier, surely you understand. But back to the evidence. The lacking evidence. Nothing proves the link between him and the adrenaline that took Drew Misham's life. What about the restaurant? You killed Zach Gramery to keep him from talking. I killed no man by that name. Read over the report again if you like. The victim was a traveler by the name of Shady Smith, about whom we know little else. You can't seriously think I knew he was that particular fugitive? Okay, then why did you kill him? I plead my right to remain silent. Remember, this court did not convene to put me on trial. The defendant's name is Vera Misham, suspected in the murder of her father. My trial's been finished for 6 months now.
I'm afraid we have strayed considerably from our purpose here. This court concurs with the witness. It is defendant Vera Misham who is on trial here.
No! But you were doing so well, Apollo.
As long as there is no evidence to support the accusation against him, this course of inquiry cannot find Vera Misham innocent.
Your Honor, Phoenix Wright spent 7 years collecting this evidence! You still don't get it, do you? Let us assume there was poison in the nail polish. Who then was responsible for causing Vera Misham to bite her nails? What? It wasn't me. I know that much. The one who brought that poison to her lips was you. What?! Evidence is everything. There is nothing more.
I believe this discussion has reached its conclusion.
Your Honor!
Mr. Justice. You performed admirably well for a novice attorney. I respect your partner, Phoenix Wright's determination as well.
However, without direct proof, you have nothing. Isn't that right, Clavier? Unfortunately, yes, Christophe, you're right. That is, you would have been right until now. What? Did the news not reach your desk in solitary? The eyes of the nation are on this courtroom today. This is the trial case for a new judicial system. That's right. I totally forgotten. The juris system! Juris, you say?
The current judicial system has been deemed too closed off from society. This new system attempts to inject the wisdom of common citizens into the law.
Common citizens? Wisdom? Is this some kind of joke? What could we possibly gain by doing this? Entrusting our judicial system to a mindless, emotional mob of irrational mouth breathers?
Common citizens have something called common sense. Common sense is not restricted by the law.
Nonsense! There is only room for two in this court, me and the law! Keep the riffraff out! Out, I say! They're not in the court, actually. They're watching everything by video camera. How can you allow this? Incidentally, the one responsible for making this happen was Phoenix Wright. Phoenix Wright. So, everything was leading to this. Of course. Right. 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 I won't accept. I can't accept. This is no court. Law. The law is everything. Law is absolute. You let the ignorant swine soil your courts. Christophe, it's over. Clavier! The law is absolute. You can't be serious. What? Odd. I thought you spent your life looking for loopholes. The law is an absolute. It's filled with contradictions.
The law is the end product of many years of history, the fruit of human knowledge, like a gem polished to a gleam through trials and errors. It is this fruit we receive and pass on and face in our own time. And it is always changing, growing, nurturing. It is our task as human beings.
Except for you, Christophe. You aren't changing. You've stopped. You're not needed anymore. I couldn't think of anything to say. Maybe because I still haven't seen enough. But someday, I'll know what law is. And I'll fight to change it if I have to.
I see no need to further prolong this trial. This began as the trial of Vera Misham, accused of murdering her father, the painter Drew Misham. However, several other incidents were reviewed and we seem to have reached a conclusion. Before this court declares a verdict, I await your decision.
It's not gonna be! Are you? Oh.
Juris of the court! For the death of Drew Misham, how do you find the defendant Vera Misham? Innocent or guilty? I turn to you now to consider this matter.
That's my birthday.
Oh! This is Phoenix, by the way.
This ends the trial for this case. Only the verdict remains to be decided. Defendant Vera Misham is currently in intensive care. If a decision cannot be reached today, it may never be reached. Factors involved are simple. Did the defendant poison her father that night? If so, she is guilty. Or was there another reason for Mr. Misham's death? Did another person poison him? If so, she is innocent. A panel has been provided for each of you to input your decisions. That is all.
Please, wait.
Yes, jurist number 6?
There's something in the jurist handbook here. Persons involved with the case may not be jurists.
That is correct. I've looked into all your dossiers. None of you were involved with the development of the case.
With the development of the case? I see.
Does that answer your concern? It's time for your verdicts. Make your decision in the case against Vera Misham. After 7 years, the truth is ready to be heard. Judge wisely. Judge well.
Who was that jurist number 6? Alright. Choose.
Not guilty. The hell? The fuck? What are the odds of that?
Of what?
Her being a juror.
That's what you got from that?
Yeah.
Okay, well, it'll be a lot more obvious in a second then.
And so a verdict was reached on October 9th.
This is me. And so a verdict was reached on October 9th, 2:14 p.m. The first verdict under the jury system. Innocent. By unanimous decision. The record would show that when the verdict was announced, special witness Christoph Gavin laughed. A laugh louder than any heard before or since. A laugh that echoed in the halls of justice, lingering for what seemed like hours. October 10th, 8:30 a.m., the morning after the trial. In an intensive care ward, a true miracle occurred. Vera Misham opened her eyes. Vera! I'm so glad
Don't cry, Apollo. I'm happy too, and proud. You did well, Apollo. When I thought about what if Vera...
Hey, now, don't you start crying too! I'm sorry I see us like this. Vera?
Thank you so much, Apollo. Thank you.
No, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have pressed you like that. If I hadn't, you never would have been in your nails.
No. I was wrong. Staying locked inside like that, clinging to my good luck charm.
Vera.
When I opened my eyes and saw you, I finally understood. It's important to be a part of the world. To see things with your own eyes.
It looks like that poison had some effect after all. It killed off whatever was holding Vera back from life.
I knew you'd pull through, Vera. I mean, that's what Apollo was fighting for the whole time. Your future! I won't forget it. Here, let me thank you.
No, really, it's okay.
Ooh, look! It's me! I love it. Thanks!
Is that me?
You really captured your essence, Apollo. Well, I think so, at least. That reminds me. Do you know where the other lawyer is?
The other lawyer?
you mean Daddy. Except he's not a lawyer anymore. It's my fault, isn't it? I'm sorry. Oh, no. That's not what I meant. No, it's okay. I'm through looking away from the things I've done. I hope I can look him in the eyes again someday and apologize.
I'm sure he'd be happy to hear that.
He brought all those things for me when he came to visit earlier.
You mean that stack of videos? Mr. Mack finished watching them all?
You know, I knew my real daddy was alive.
Huh?
I was there 7 years ago, remember? I was the one who helped them vanish from the courtroom.
How?
I'm not telling. He promised me that day he went away.
We may not meet again for some time, Juicy. But know this. I will be watching. And one day, I shall return. You're the next Granbury, after all. Oh, Juicy. In the end, he couldn't keep that promise, could he?
It's okay. Phoenix is my daddy now, even if he can't really play the piano.
No, he can't.
Oh, and I've got you too, even if your voice is kind of loud sometimes.
Glad I made your list.
Hey, come to think of it, where is Daddy? The one who can't play. Do you know Apollo?
I think he said he had to meet someone.
I wonder. Maybe it's a new mommy.
Ugh.
Tee-hee. Oh, Trucy? Yes, Farah? I was wondering, could you show him to me once more? It's her hat, was it? Oh, he's not been knighted yet. Here goes. Do us an impersonation, Mr. Hat. Objection!
Not loud enough. I like this magic underwear better anyway.
That's magic panties, Apollo. And the panties come back right there at the end.
At the end, this is what you lost. This is what you did not clearly see during that Juris moment.
So, your memories returned.
Mr. Knight, was this all part of your plan, too?
I don't know what you're talking about.
When I lost my memory, it was reborn as Lamio. But you knew my true identity, did you not? That is why you chose me as one of your jurors.
You're thinking into it too much. Besides, there's no guarantee that regaining your memory would make you happy.
Of course it is a happy thing. For so long, I thought I was alone. But now I know I have children. 2 dear children. I'm so proud of them. This too, I think, is thanks to you.
Are you going to tell them?
They do not know?
Nope. They don't know their mother. They don't even know their siblings.
I will go to them when the time is right. Until then,
Don't worry. I'll take care of them for you. They're very important to me too. A little annoying at times, but still. I have to keep an eye on her at least. Because I'm the only one who knows how she really feels on the inside. Your bracelet.
Yes.
I've seen a lot of mysterious things these past 7 years. But your bracelets were the strangest of all. I remember meeting him half a year ago now in Christoph Gavin's office. And then I met you. 2 fates destined to intertwine. And I was there when they crossed. I'll never forget that.
Such a small thing. That bullet. Yet adore who I was away. 10 years ago, during a simple rehearsal. It was a miracle no one died, but I didn't survive that accident. That is why I left the troupe, my family. Now, my memory has returned. I am myself once more. For the first time, I am glad to be alive, Mr. Wright.
Speaking of miracles, Vera Mission regained consciousness this morning. I can only hope she's as glad as you are.
It is a strange thing, fate. Sometimes a life is taken, sometimes a life is spared.
You know what I've been thinking? People don't die that easily, really. As long as they've got something worth living for.
That's pretty much the end of my story. For now, anyway. I've still got a long way to go. And this power of mine, needs some work. But there's hope now. We lost it, but somehow we found it again. That's why people are smiling again. Hope. Yeah, I think I'll keep at this lawyer thing for a while. Training time. Gotta go, Cords of Steel. Here comes justice! Objection! And that's the end.
I'm glad you're staying with the agency, Apollo. It's like I found my long-lost big little brother. Oh, and don't you worry about Troop Gramarye. Trucy's on the case. Now that I have this, thanks to Daddy. Trucy Gramarye, frankly, I got my doubts, but that Gramarye, now that'll back me, somewhere in.
It's not every day you get a child that looks harder than one of our gigs, yeah? That's why it's over. The Cavaliers are breaking up. This caused the run on tissues that supermarkets nationwide. You're the real stars now. I look forward to our next jam session. I still have the guitar, by the way. I don't know why. Should have thrown it away. It's starting to smell. You next?
Well, it's finally over. You know, thinking about it, I've been a piano player longer than I was a lawyer. Now that's everything sorted and got time on my hands. Maybe I'll take some lessons, or maybe I'll take the bar exam again.
So, I was sitting around eating Snackers the other day, and I got this crazy idea. What if they were golden? You could augment the crunch, or better yet, make them ding! Ah, the power of science. Although the preservatives might not be 100% safe. You're next. Chie Nakayama made this game!
In the unlikely event you are wanting Russian feast, come to Borscht Bowl. The only thing colder than restaurant is borscht. Da, but the greater challenge is being required. Then come to the hideout. You know who to ask for. Ugh.
I forgot you gave him like a Scottish pirate accent.
Yeah.
Whenever you guys didn't have one.
Yeah.
I believe you have one line in this, so get ready. No, you don't. So, Kentucky Pastries is getting back to its eastern roots. Spread the culture and all. Yo, boss! Culture time! This is how we write root, bish. But we're still about giving back to the people. Yo, boss! PR time! And this is how we write people. Alright? Not that Rocky's paying any attention. Hush, kids. And you're next. Actually, the next 3.
Chinese characters on cake was a fly deal like 3,000 years ago. Believe that? Man, you wanna make it a day, you gotta keep it real, you know what I'm saying? Yo, that's why I made the OG cracker for real. I know it don't look like no cracker, G, but what do you wanna call it? The OG muffin? Bitch.
That would be a great send off to that character.
I don't know where all this talk about foods come from. You asked me there's only one food, and that's noodles. Noodles forever. I got a new one too. See, this time I just put a big chunk of salt in the bowl. Why pretend? Eldon Noodles is about the salt. Salt forever!
Yeah!
Yeah!
You're next.
My exceptionally inquisitive nature has me an unequivocal admiration of my department. You see, they used to call me Wesley Stinkler and Wesley Sticky Hands. But no longer. I have a new name, one that reflects my true academic nature. Wesley Sicko, reporting. Yes, curiosity is a sickness, and I am the cure.
Oh, I'm next. I don't know how to thank you all for what you done. Light has returned to my life, and with it joy. I may have lost ears, but I have gained a treasure. 2 treasures, in fact. I will think of them when I write my next song. And you're the last year.
Brushel, Brushel here, back in the B with another interview, how do I feel about things turned out? No scoop yet, but journalist confidence in men condition, and quote.
You know, these picture effects look very cool in the DS, by the way.
Really?
Yeah, they look, that was like high quality stuff.
I've decided to keep painting. Originals only, of course. I suppose I'll have to see a bit of the world outside to find what to paint. But I know there are good people out there now. I've met them. The door is open. The world is waiting. Thank you.
Your boy Shu. That's the guy who made the kid.
Should give me.
Shu made the kid, by the way. There's one more thing.
There's another thing?
Yeah. That was a nice little thing. I'd never seen that before, actually. Well, I just saw it for a second, but it looked nice. Alright, don't look.
Don't look?
Don't look! Alright, Alright, now look! Okay, we're going to get to the bad ending.
Bad ending?
Yes. What is the bad ending? Which, you know, the thing I'm talking about is that you see Lamriel's bracelet, confirming that she is Chrissy and Apollo's mother.
Oh.
That's what you see.
Oh, right.
That's why I told you at the start.
See,
Pay
I was
attention to
so
the bracelet.
confused when I saw her. I'm like, who is that again? I'm like, wait, that's this case? And then I was so confused.
You saw, you could have.
Yeah, I was like,
you
who
didn't
the
see.
fuck is that again?
You don't remember Lamio?
I do now.
Yeah. Because I freaking popped off when I saw that. Just the bracelet.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I didn't because I didn't remember them like forcing it down your throat that she was Tracy and Paul's mother. You know, I don't remember that because of like this moment, like immediately. Anyway.
Yeah, I was just confused. I'm like, wait, that lady? I thought, what is this? And then I was just trying to remember what the fuck, who she was. I just completely. I just didn't expect to see her.
We did watch a video of her scene like 17 times.
I know. I remember it now. I didn't even know until he said La Miroir. I was like, wait a fucking second.
Yeah.
La Miroir?
Yeah. Anyway, guilty. Fuck you, Vera. And so a verdict was reached on October 9th, 2:14 p.m. The first verdict under the jury system. A hung jury. The final verdict would have to wait for the following day. But fate had different plans. That night, defendant Vera Misham's condition worsened. She died in her hospital bed. Her verdict was postponed for eternity.
Yeah. Ha. Here.
Anyway, that's the bad ending. Oh, I got an achievement for killing her! I don't look.
I am looking.
You can look. Okay, so, what'd you think?
I like fan.
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 Yeah.
Like. Good.
What do you think of, like, in terms of the trilogy and this one?
The like original trilogy in this?
Yeah.
Well, see, this is where I kind of struggle with my opinion because, as I've said before, you know, when we did the first game.
Yeah.
You know, that's back when I was getting no sleep, working crazy hours, and I would come here and be completely exhausted. So it's hard for me to tell, like, because I look back and I think about, like, the storylines and stuff, and I'm like, well, the storylines were better in the original trilogy, but now that I, like, do this and I'm not tired and want to kill myself, I'm like, dude, this is pretty great, man.
Yeah.
Because the last time I played, I was like, I felt like shit every time.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But
there's more characters in the original.
Yeah, of course. But
more like memorable characters, but I like this.
I would agree. Not in terms of the side characters, like Olga and Wesley Stickler, and you know, I think those are a little bit less memorable. But I think that, like, what do you think about like Christoph Gavin?
Oh yeah, I like that. I gotta say, I much prefer something like Christoph Gavin. These guys, okay, I gotta admit, okay, the original, you know, Phoenix Wright, most besides Edgeworth, everyone else annoyed the shit out of me. Just like, oh, dude, like fucking, what was her name? The German lady with the whip.
Franziska? You think Franziska's annoying?
So annoying. It's just like always like whipping us and shit. It just got so repetitive. You know what I mean? And then Winston Payne, it's just like, yeah, he's just there to like help hold your hand for the game. But Franziska always annoyed the shit out of me.
I completely disagree with Franziska. I think Franziska is one of the most developed characters in the series.
It has nothing to do with what develops about her character. It's like just the personality. It was just like,
yeah, and she tones it down throughout as the game goes on.
Yeah, still, she kind of annoyed me. These guys didn't annoy me.
Yeah. So Christoph Gavin and then Clavier Gavin.
Yeah, I like that.
I think that Clavier is probably the second worst main prosecutor, but he's not bad. I really like him. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, but I just think he's just like there, and I like that.
Yeah, he's
there and has a little bit of flair. That's good.
And he's like very like nice to people. And,
yeah,
like he's not very antagonistic at all.
I just don't like when the prosecutors like they interrupt the game too much. Like, let's just move it along. It just becomes like
you need a prosecutor
clunky.
to basically tell the other side.
But we all know their side's wrong. Fuck them.
Not really, no.
Fuck them.
Because there's a lot of times we're like, oh shit, they have a point.
Yeah, but
And-
I just don't like Francisco, but like at all. But
Yeah,
miss my boy Edgeworth.
and Godo.
Oh, Godo was good.
Yeah.
Okay. He was good. He was very good.
What do you think of Apollo Justice himself?
Yeah, he's good. Less of an asshole than Phoenix.
That's because of the way I perform the character, right? If I performed Phoenix, I would perform the same exact way because they are the same exact character in terms of personality.
Nah, Phoenix was always a fucking asshole. He was an asshole to Maya all the time.
Because
He's always like, I don't know what
most
that
of Phoenix's
hip shit is.
Most of Phoenix's deliveries are sarcastic. He's a very sarcastic guy, you know, just like Apollo. That's like all these.
Yeah, but if you're always sarcastic, you just end up becoming an asshole.
You're not.
Yeah,
I just feel like you.
If you're always sarcastic,
you completely misread how Phoenix Phoenix is an asshole in this game, and that's the point. Yeah, he's an asshole in this game.
You think he's an asshole in this?
Yes.
He's way less of an asshole in this game than the original.
Oh, he is.
What makes him more of an asshole in this? Because he keeps information away?
Well, and that, but also like he gaslights us a lot. It was like, yeah, he was like, oh shit, Phoenix is in the hospital. He's like, oh yeah, I got hit by a car. Oh well.
It's
like
true.
He doesn't like.
I mean, he's still an asshole, but I feel like he was just so mean to Maya and was always just like, I don't like the shit that you're into. Oh, you like noodles? Fuck noodles. You like music? I hate it.
Literally, never. There's not a single occasion where he does that.
He'd always be like, oh my god, we have to go do this now. Great.
Not a single occasion where he
Yes,
does that.
it is. What the fuck are you talking about? It was every game.
It's not.
The whole time it'd be like, oh dude, Maya's really into the circus. Why do you even give a shit about these trapeze guys?
No, it's like the conflict is that he's like, well, I kind of want to, stay here and work. I don't have time to go to the circus. And Maya's like, yeah, let's go to the circus. And I'm like, okay, fine, let's go to the circus. And then he goes to the circus and he enjoys it. And he's like, yeah, that was a good time. Thank you, Maya, for suggesting that we go to the circus.
But he always had to be an asshole first.
No,
he was always just like passive aggressive and just a fucking dick. Apollo, he was a dick sometimes, but not as much.
Anyway, and what about Trucy?
Yeah, I like Trucy.
Yeah, I think. Yeah. I said that I like it better than Maya, but that is probably a controversial opinion. But
yeah, I mean, probably like Maya more, but it's like
yeah. Not enough content.
Not a huge difference.
And what do you think about Turnabout Succession itself, the final case? So that's literally everything with Mission. That's the past with Phoenix. It's literally the entire info dump of what happened with Phoenix and stuff like that.
Oh, I like it a lot.
Okay.
I like it a lot. Probably.
In terms of like a tier list, where would you put it?
Probably third best case
in the series.
Yep.
Okay. No, and what would be the first two? I would think it would be Bridge to the Turnabout, so 3-5, and then Farewell My Turnabout, which is 2-4.
Which one's Farewell My Turnabout? The one
that's with Matt on guard and Maya gets kidnapped, and Shelly the killer.
That's it. And then Turnabout Goodbye is the one with Edgeworth's dad and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are top 2.
Okay.
And then I'd put this probably 3. Although
and what about Bridge to the Turnabout? That's final case of 3. Gilbert being the murderer.
Yeah, that one's good. I wasn't as it was good. It was a good one, but I'd probably put that below this. I like this one.
Oh.
I think this one, and again, this could totally just be the way my life was, but I feel like the pacing of this was a little quicker. Like the original trilogy, again, may just be how I perceive it. It would just be like, there'd be so many stop and go, long testimonies. This one did not have super long testimonies.
No, it did. It definitely did.
I mean, maybe once with what's his face.
Because this took
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Benedict Cumberbatch. Fuck, who did you say that was? Gavin? You said that was Gavin?
No, the freaking guy who looks like Benedict Cumberbatch. The professor, the student guy.
Oh, Wesley Stickler. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
But no, this took us as long as it did for us to do Justice for All.
Same amount of time.
Yeah. Because they also had the same amount of cases. But So it's like, so the pacing's like very close.
Same amount of episodes?
Yeah, not the same amount of episodes, same amount of like time. I believe it took us like 54. This is episode 51. And in the original game, we beat the whole game except for Rise from the Ashes in like 35 episodes. So it's like it's very quickly. Rise from the Ashes was like 22 episodes. So like.
But you're saying we did 4 cases in 54 episodes, and then we did 4 cases here in 51?
Yeah.
That's still a decent amount of time.
And also because you're stupid, and I give you a lot of hints.
Oh yeah, but like, yeah, I was. Yeah.
All right, but the next time we're gonna play Ace Attorney game is never. We're gonna never play another one. It's gonna be so next up we're gonna be playing Punch Out. Basically, we're gonna be refighting everybody, basically defending that title.
Yep.
So like those fights are very difficult. Very, very difficult. Otherwise, we'll be playing. If I'm stuck on a fight in Punch Out, then we will switch over to Mario 64 while I practice that fight off camera, and we will continue with Persona 3 episodes a week, and we're going to continue with Persona until we get to a specific point in time, like in the story, and then we will do the next Ace Attorney game. Sound like a plan?
Yep.
All right, then. Thank you for watching this episode of Apollo Justice. Make sure to like, subscribe, and about the notification, which is
Every single day.
bye bye.